With Bitcoin seemingly stuck in time, absolutely exploding sideways for the first time in weeks, there's something flashing hard and strong right now that will leave you breathless and begging for mercy. For the past nearly 10 days, Bitcoin has been stuck in a new range, the range between 50 and about 53,000 US dollars. But are there now signs showing that we're about to see a massive increase in volatility? And is it going to be big, or is it going to be extremely big for the price of Bitcoin? So if you understand that sometimes before you bust, you have to get dumped on, hit that like, hit that subscribe, get signed up to Femex below if you want to buy Bitcoin or altcoins. Without any further ado, let's absolutely wiggle our way into these charts. With, as you can see, over the past nearly 10 days, Bitcoin has now been stuck in a very tight trading range. I have two big price alerts on this chart. 50,000 US dollars and 53,000 US dollars. And I've had them both on here for at least like the last week. And, we have not crossed either of them. In my opinion, this is pure, unadulterated, only sideways movement until we see a break from this range, right? Either 50 or 53 has to break. One of these has to break. Now, there is a few things showing up. So first on the daily chart, you can see we're just now getting a bearish MACD cross. This is our very first tick of the red here down on the MACD on the daily chart. And that combined also with, if we look at the weekly chart for Bitcoin, we're seeing bearish divergence with the price making a higher high, but the RSI actually doing the opposite, putting in a lower high on the RSI, which is a divergence. And this is something that's been kind of playing out for a little bit. We will have a confirmation at the weekly close in just about 48 hours. However, this is one of those moments where you have to think, okay, is this now going to be one of those opportunities? Are we going to get a test? Are we going to try and get a dump here? Now, I want to actually point your attention to the last time we saw the MACD do this same crossover, right? If we go all the way back when it was pretty overheated back here in November of 2023, if we zoom in here, you can see that right here, we got this bearish cross. And what did Bitcoin do though? It literally vertically accumulated. So as the RSI was kind of cooling off and showing bearish momentum, you can see this right here, Bitcoin literally just inched and squinched to the upside. Are we about to see something similar here over the next couple of weeks? With the price trending down right now, are we going to maybe bounce in this range here off of 50 and kind of just slowly trickle upwards, even with the MACD trending downwards, right? So far, and this is why this is so big, is because so far since basically October, we have not had any sustained downtrend. The literal biggest sustained downtrend we've seen since October, mid-October, was the ETF sell the news, which quickly reversed, right? That was the opposite of bearish. It was basically an amazing entry point. You could have gotten in slightly below 40K, right around 38. And since then, we have not gone below 40K. And in fact, since we breached 50K, we also haven't even gone below 50K. So, man, so far you have had very few opportunities for a good entry if you're trying to long in the past month, but specifically also since October. Basically, I mean, if you long the price of Bitcoin right here on October 16th, the middle of October, you've been doing amazing. Bitcoin's only gone up, right, for the past 4 months. And if you long the crash, the sell the news crash that bottomed on January 23rd, you would have got in at about 38,000, and now we're at 50,000. Well, 51,000. We went all the way up to 53,000. So with that being said, so far, what the market has shown us is that every dump that we've gotten, every single red candle, every single baby dump that we've gotten since mid-October 2023 has been an amazing long entry, right? That's so far what we've seen. And is this different now? We don't have evidence to say yes. So until we get some evidence where we actually start really breaking down here, the very first thing we would need to see is 50,000 break. And we haven't even seen 50,000 US dollars break just yet. If you guys have been watching my videos, you already know where targets are to the downside, where I would be absolutely mega longing. There's two of them. I've been talking about them for the past couple of weeks, right here and right here, 47,000 and 44,000. But I made a video 2 days ago and we still haven't even broken 50,000. So, before I even get the tiniest inkling of bearishness, we would need to at least break 50K. And I'm really curious to see if we actually can even get there. Now, before we continue with the charts, I want to take a look at a few things. So here's the opposite of this. Crypto Jelly on Twitter saying Bitcoin is still retesting the bullish megaphone pattern. If the retest holds, we're looking at a target of about 60,000. This is actually a potential bullish setup. Basically, Bitcoin would need to hold where it's at right now, and then it has the opportunity for a giga bounce. So that's interesting to look at. Also, we're seeing GBTC outflows fall to about 50 million, the second lowest days of outflow since launch. So, I mean, if that continues, then that's good, right? I'm pretty sure Genesis is selling. I've been hearing people say this for like the past couple of days, and I don't think there's any 100% confirmation of it. But from what I understand, that's where a lot of the selling pressure over the last week has come from. Genesis was cleared to start dumping, basically. So when that comes to an end, which I don't believe will be much more than another week from now, will price continue on an uptrend. Here we see this too, and this is big. So Bitcoin has not hit a new all-time high in USD, but it has in like 7 or 8 other currencies. For example, the Nigerian market, Bitcoin is at a new all-time high, right? Right after Nigeria has officially blocked like Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, the price just started skyrocketing. So just because Bitcoin is not at new all-time highs in USD, look around the world. Bitcoin is a global currency, and it is actually hitting new all-time highs in a decent amount of other currencies. So that's something I would not want to ignore. We're also seeing this, and I'm just interested in your opinion on this. NVIDIA has also overtaken Germany's DAX in terms of market cap. Basically, NVIDIA has taken over Germany's entire stock market. That's crazy, right? NVIDIA is just under $2 trillion in valuation. It was only founded about 30 years ago. It's worth more than the entire DAX with its 40. I mean, it's 130 years old. I mean, this is nuts, right? Is this sustainable? My opinion would probably be no, right? I mean, like how long can NVIDIA just blow past, break records, like just continue to blow upwards? I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. Here we have the new Bitcoin ETFs, the new 9, holding roughly, just a quick little update, about 300,000 Bitcoin. Very big, absolutely massive. And Bitcoin Munger just updating these leverage positions as well. 50 and 54,000 are the two big areas. Basically, longs will get liquidated at 50, and shorts will get liquidated at 54. So yeah, I mean, we need to see a break out of this range. Until then, it's a very tight range. It's not a very big range. So until we get some sort of actual move, it's just going to, nothing to update in terms of price, really. And then also look at this dog's haircut. This is absolutely insane. What a beautiful dog. Look at this. I mean, it's like a little, it's almost like it's like a little bowl cut type thing. It's very cute. He has a chain as well. Look at that. But also, Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador, basically said this, right? If the government can print unlimited amounts of money out of thin air, why are we paying taxes? Why do you pay taxes? It's a really good question. Makes you think a little bit, right? Why? If they can just print money, why are we paying taxes? Anyway, many continue to say that this time is not different. However, the drawdowns so far this cycle have been a lot more muted than past cycles. It does indeed look different according to Bitcoin Munger here. And if we look at this is the Genesis to 2011, right here in orange. Then we have 2011 to 2013 bull, 2015 to 2017 bull, 2018 to 2021 bull, and black is where we currently are. And you see these drawdowns actually so far it is quite a little muted. Not to mention, guys, I'm sure a lot of people are aware that we have broken the 0.618 before the halving for the first time ever. The 0.61 Fibonacci retracement we actually broke recently for the first time ever prior to a Bitcoin halving. So already there is something that is fundamentally different. Is this time going to be different? Well, I keep saying this, but the approval and the launch and the success of Bitcoin ETFs, if there's anything that would make this time different, don't you think that would be a huge catalyst to do that? My answer would be 1000% yes. And we also see that while Bitcoin spot ETFs are seeing huge inflow, gold ETFs are actually seeing outflows. And so basically, gold's kind of getting banged. Bitcoin's doing really well right now. A lot of money's actually flowing into Bitcoin, and money's flowing out of gold. Basically, gold is getting giga banged. Okay. And what? Andrew Sorkin, he had a thing on CNBC a couple days ago where he was saying if Bitcoin was a store of value, the price would stay the same. That's silly considering inflation it has to keep up with. So it has to rise to store value against inflation. So no, for Bitcoin to be a successful store of value, it would continue to go up while inflation continues to go up and the dollar continues to be devalued. I'm sure most people know that, but I just think that's silly, especially coming from a CNBC host. Like you would think he would know that, I guess, right? Like it's like the most basic thing. But anyway, we look on this chart for Bitcoin. We're still kind of holding right on this trend line, the previous overhead resistance. I personally think it makes more sense if we break down. I personally think as I've been saying, I think in every previous bull market, we should be getting a dump here. I think we should be getting dumped here. And then overall, I think it'll be very bullish and we will enter a very strong bull market. But I just think in the short term, we should be having a pullback right now. We should be having a dump. And in my opinion, I think the only reason we haven't seen it yet is because of these massive inflows from the Bitcoin spot ETFs. Otherwise, I would be saying 100%, right? If we didn't have these Bitcoin spot ETFs, I 100% would be saying right now, guys, we're about to crash. I think we need a dump. I think we need to flush out this market for the next week or two. But because of Bitcoin spot ETFs, it's silly for anyone to say that they know one way or another. I think these Bitcoin spot ETFs are so new and it changes the dynamic of this market so much that nobody knows yet how exactly these dumps are going to go moving forward. We don't know. Nobody does. I don't know. You don't know. Some people in the comments with 6 months of experience might think they know because those seem to be the people that are the most confident, the people that have the least experience. But I promise you, you have no idea. I have no idea. Nobody has any idea. And that's actually the most exciting part, right? That truly allows this time to be different. If all of humanity can get caught off guard by something like this. The one thing we do know is that these ETF inflows are massive. And they absolutely have the ability to eclipse entire crypto bull markets, just one of these ETF providers, right? BlackRock's inflows have the capacity to completely blow away every other crypto market with just one ETF, let alone the other 8, let alone retail, let alone all this other money that will probably come into Bitcoin in just the next few months. Now also the stock market, continue to watch that, kind of a boring day today, pretty pumpy yesterday, went out to new all-time highs yesterday, and the DXY is kind of just hanging out. So really, this is a video where I'm basically making to try and give you an idea before a massive move because we haven't seen it yet, but I truly believe we're about to break out of this range here, this very tight range, extremely soon. And get sent up to Phoenix below if you want to buy Bitcoin or altcoins. Without further ado,